Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And I'm going to start by saying how much I share your concern for road safety and improving road safety. It's an extraordinary number of Americans who die every year on our roads, many of them driving, many of them just simply trying to cross the street, as sadly happened to a 5-year-old amazing girl in my district who died in a crosswalk, crossing right in front of her family, doing absolutely nothing wrong, in fact, doing everything right. But she was run over by a truck. So I want to talk about what we can do to improve road safety. And Ms. Chase, I know you've done a lot of work on this. The chairman mentioned the importance of police enforcement. I agree. We need to enforce the rules. We need to enforce the law. People should follow the law. The laws aren't just there to look good. They're meant to do something. What about traffic cameras? Are they effective at enforcement?
Yes, they are. We support automated enforcement safety cameras both for red light running and for speed because they have been proven by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety to reduce crashes. So we strongly support them, and we urge Congress in the next reauthorization bill to expand the use of federal funds so that localities can afford to use them.
And how do traffic cameras compare to police enforcement in effectiveness?
Well, we consider automated enforcement as a supplement to law enforcement, not a replacement, because I think both are very important. As has been discussed earlier in this hearing, law enforcement efforts in terms of traffic safety have reduced. So it's time, we would like to see them, the effective use of law enforcement to enforce traffic safety laws back on the rise, and we would also like to see the use of automated enforcement.
I mean, I agree with that. I've spoken to my local police chief about the importance of traffic enforcement, and he's shared with me some of the challenges that he has in just doing this duty. But I also understand that statistically, cameras are even more effective because everyone knows there's a camera there all the time. You don't have to see a police car. Is that not correct?
That is correct. We also, it's very important that the automated enforcement systems are done properly, because if not, then there could be a backlash, and that has happened in certain areas. So we want to make sure that they are done effectively. Our organization, together with GAHSA and other organizations, put together a safety checklist for localities on how to implement automated enforcement automated enforcement systems safely, and that can be, I think that's widely available on the website.
And I see a lot of nodding heads there. Is there anything that Mr. Hanson or Mr. Wilcox you'd like to add to this?
Thank you. NACO and counties are very diverse. We like that option of having those traffic cameras. That's a policy choice that sometimes gets a lot of pushback in local areas, but having that option available, would absolutely love that chance so various counties could take advantage of it if available.
Yeah, I get that there's pushback because some people like to break the law, right? But the problem is that when it results in deaths, it's one thing if you're, speeding out in the middle of the desert and you might run over a jackrabbit. But if you might run over a 5-year-old kid crossing the street, it's a different story. There's some new data that's come out on the effectiveness of no right on red. Now, I like turning on right on red just as much as the rest of us. Sometimes it can get you home faster. But it's pretty easy to understand how when you're looking left to see the cars coming, you might not be looking right in the crosswalk for someone crossing the street. So the data is pretty clear. And yet, the champions of federalism, the people who say that local communities should make their own decisions, the Republican Party is the one banning the enforcement of traffic cameras, banning no right on red signs in Washington, D.C. Even though the data clearly supports the fact that when you ban these enforcement systems, you say to locals, you can't make your own decisions because a bunch of politicians from out of state are going to come in and make them for you for the 3.5 days a week that we're here, more pedestrians are going to die. I don't know about you, but that doesn't seem right to me. Doesn't seem like selfless service to the country. Doesn't seem like living up to your own principles and values. And it doesn't seem like making our roads safer. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.